theory I cited to research was cultivation theory, which deals with the effects of long-term television viewing on an individual's perspective of the world. So this can deal with violence and crime being projected into the real world as we see it on TV, causing paranoia and trust issues amongst people and our society. I think a good quote that was used in our textbook is, at its root, television is society's institutional storyteller. And a society's stories give a coherent picture of what exists, what is important, and what is related to what is right. Now, this is interesting because it's showing the skewed reality that we have as the lines are being blurred between what's put on television and what's actually real. Um, the communication context of this theory is mass communication, which occurs when a small number of people send messages to a large anonymous group through specialized communication media. So basically, sending out the TV station sending out a program to us, or like someone posting something on social media. These are these small group throwing to a big group on a news outlet. The underlying epistemology is about the attitudes that reflect on TV are already present in society, but have been repackaged for popular consumption. Also, meaning that prolonged exposure to media, especially TV, will cultivate similar behaviors amongst our society. The theoretical tradition of this theory is classical positivism. This is because in the research, it assumes the existence of objective reality and that value neutral research. So the two articles that I decided to research were based on cultivation theory, one of them being uh, Barbara J. Wilson's Media and Children's Aggression, Fear, and Altruism. So this goes into the idea that children are being almost brainwashed by television, and they're learning these different aspects of society through television, not through actual interactions in society, which can be a problem because there's ways that seeing aggression and exaggerated views of our society on TV can fracture one's young mind because they're not fully developed yet, especially at a very young age. And this tends to go as you're older, you learn more and more, and you're able to learn uh, more complex emotions and empathy. But as a younger child, you can be accustomed and learn these standards or stereotypes on TV that then can lead to you developing in a different way emotionally and physically how you communicate in society. It can also strike fear as well, depending on what you're actually watching. If you're watching news or something scary, like a scary movie. It's also worth mentioning that it's sort of gender based because females develop empathy and complex emotions a lot quicker than males do because they tend to relate to the programs more. The second article I went into was the influence of TV viewing on consumers' body images and related consumption behavior. So this goes into the idea of the beauty standard and the body standard that is put onto television, where usually it's a really fit male or a skinny female, usually underweight. And this is something that I don't know as much right now is a huge issue with the television, but especially in the past decade has been a big issue where you're seeing the ideal body form shown on TV when in reality that's not a like it's not a reality. It's skewed to be positive on the screen, but then this causes people to watch this, especially when they watch it over a prolonged period of time and it accumulates. They tend to try and change their own body to mask and be similar to the one that's on TV, and this is an issue with today's society. It can be with like things such as plastic surgery or developing eating disorder because you think you need to be skinnier, so they don't eat and develop an eating disorder. Then this is a serious issue that, especially amongst females, as the article stated, with gaining, they want to be very thin depending on what they're seeing in the media. I know at the time in this article from 2007, they mentioned a couple different TV shows like Friends and Sex and the City, of different ones that show this ideal female body, and they want to do that because they watch it so much, and that causes them to skew their own reality of their actual self-concept and self-identity. And it's the actual self versus the ideal self. And this ideal self might not be reachable, but the actual self is now being skewed because of this ideal self.